I mean, don't
They let people out all the time that they've had in jail for years.
Yeah, the guy, where was that? I can't remember what state it was in. Been in prison for 44 years and they released him.
Is he the one that got $75 for his trouble?
Nah, I don't know. I never heard
I saw one. This guy got released after, I guess it was like 30 years, and they gave him a check for $75.
That's about what happened to you here in Arkansas.
Yeah, that's bullshit, man. I have a real problem. What did you say that was called? Something immunity.
Constitutional immunity.
I have a problem with that.
I do too.
Because if the state fucks up, the state needs to be held accountable for their actions, just like an individual.
But at the same time, like in the case of the Midwest Memphis 3, there's got to be some recourse because the state jumped all over offering them that Alford plea so that they could avoid any kind of charges.
But that was, that wasn't because of the facts of the case. That was because of the attention the case had gotten.
Yeah.
It had gotten all that celebrity attention, and it was becoming,
and there were no facts of the case.
And it was becoming a bigger black eye by the moment.
Yep. And by that time, there had been high-powered lawyers, much smarter than the fucking Arkansas district attorney, who went over that and said, "Ooh, we gonna fuck somebody."
Yeah, we got a problem here.
Back to Alyssa. Attorney.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Her disappearance was thrust into the spotlight in 2006 when a man named Thomas Heimer, serving time in prison in Florida for murder, wrote a letter to police confessing to Alyssa's murder. Though the police investigation determined the confession to be a hoax, there were pieces of information and details that made police realize this wasn't a runaway case. Police then began to look at Michael Turney, he was the stepdad, in 2008, who had said he picked Alyssa up from school the day she disappeared. Which is odd because her room was all
in disarray.
Yeah, and she left a note saying that she had gone to California.
Yeah.
So it sounds like his story changed.
Yeah, and I would love to know how that one guy's false confession played into, I would love to know the deets there.
Michael was arrested in 2008 after police searched his home and found 26 pipe bombs and a manifesto and hours upon hours of audio recordings and home videos of him stalking Alyssa right up until she disappeared. In one video, a younger Sarah, and this is what you were talking about, is holding a videotape recording Alyssa and Michael, and in the background, Alyssa can be heard saying, "Dad's a pervert." And that's when he got all pissed and turned the camera off.
Yeah.
Wow. Where was Mom during all this?
I don't know.
We heard a lot about Dad and the other sister, but never...
Police also found contracts Michael allegedly made Alyssa sign that stated she had never been sexually assaulted or molested by him.
Oh, that's not
creepy. Number one, that's not creepy at all. Number two, anyone under 18 is not legally eligible to freely enter into a binding contract.
But here's the thing. If I have to sign a contract saying you've never raped me, chances are you've raped me.
Exactly.
Yeah, more than one.
Michael went to prison in 2010 for 10 years for the pipe bombs, but not Alyssa's disappearance. Though police had reached out to interview Michael on several occasions about Alyssa's disappearance, he declined. Phoenix police submitted her case to the prosecutor's office for charges against Michael Turney back in June. On August 19th, a grand jury indicted him on one count of second-degree murder, a Class 1 felony for the death of Alyssa. Turney was arrested the next day. The department has declined to say what evidence prompted the arrest.
We want to know.
Yeah.
Well, good. I hope he goes to jail for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and everybody suspected him. He was always...
Like from the get.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'd like
what
to know
is the deal with these fucking weird motherfuckers always wanting to videotape themselves?
So they can watch back what
so they can relive what they've done.
They can relive it.
The moment,
that makes sense.
It's...
Yeah. Spanking it to the greatest hits, I guess. All right. Michigan, what does that say? Michigan cops?
Michigan cops rescue
a
a 16-year-old in a locked barn, and they found 6 other kids in a county sweep. That's the one where the girl, I think it was a girl they found in a barn. The barn had been like wrapped with barbed wire where she couldn't get out.
Fuck.
They found other kids missing.
You don't want them escaping.
Someone made a good point. Ever since
Maxwell. She has a...
Ghislaine?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
I can't
Every
say
time
her
I
first
It's Ghislaine.
Every time I see
Maxwell
it, I think
has been
Giselle,
arrested.
but...
there's been a shit ton of kids popping up.
Makes you wonder if she's talking.
I bet she is.
Yeah.
If she's got anything to say, I hope they drain her dry, and then they lock her up forever.
Yep.
Or they could put her in Epstein's cell.
I don't care.
Yeah,
After they find the kids.
After they get all of her testimony, I don't give a fuck what happens to her. She can go straight to hell for all I give a fuck.
And she will.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But I do want them to use her to find those kids.
Oh yeah, I bet it's like, hey, you keep me from accidentally committing suicide, and I'll tell you everything you want to know.
And I'd go, sure.
be like this, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. You just get to talking, sugar.
What's it say? Sex offender.
What are we talking about?
Oh, the California thing.
Oh, yeah. I think that's going to be its own episode. Well, fuck, whatever. We'll get to it now.
We can talk about Fort Hood.
So,
Jesus.
Once again.
So, yeah, we'll do the Fort Hood as its own episode, and we'll talk about this now.
Fort Hood can't be its own episode. We're just going to update on it.
Sweet son of a bitch. Okay, then let's do that.
Let's just talk about it all, and when we get...
So, the last one we did was the soldier who had...
He was hung by...
Yeah.
In the tree.
Yeah, and he had said that he had been sexually assaulted. Right. And then after that, he started getting bullied and hazed.
But he just committed suicide.
For talking.
Yeah, supposedly he committed suicide.
Yeah, I mean, no foul play suspected.
Yeah, when you commit suicide, you always hang yourself in the middle of the forest from a fucking tree.
The thing is, you always drive 200 miles away to do it.
That's what I'd do. Fucking idiots.
So we're thinking, okay, maybe this is going to be the last one for a while. No.
The next week.
Another soldier drowned in a lake near the base, Hollow Lake. And this is the second soldier in the past few months who has drowned at this same lake.
And this is like the 11th soldier that's died since May.
Since May.
Yeah.
But on the bright side, they have offered up a scapegoat.
Who?
Yeah.
Because they've gotten rid of the base commander.
Yeah.
And they've barred him forever having commands somewhere else.
Good.
But, damn well, he is a damn scapegoat.
Okay.
They're thinking, we've solved the problem now.
No, CID is still doing an investigation on that.
You hope.
They're supposed to be. But the thing is, if I'm the base commander, everything that happens on that base to my soldiers is my responsibility.
And I agree with that.
I agree with that.
And when you start having soldier after soldier after soldier after soldier die, you need to put that base on fucking lockdown and figure out what the fuck is going on. Be like, hey, man, I hate it that you can't leave base, but at least you're not going to die. Hopefully.
Well,
Well, I mean, there were several that were killed on base, too.
Yeah.
That's true. But when you're a base commander and you have instances like that just happen and happen and happen and happen, you have to take extreme measures.
I'd like to know how many deaths they've had at that base before it became
a news thing.
Yeah, public.
I don't know. But I mean, that place is more dangerous to Army soldiers than fucking Iraq. Seriously, if I got orders there, I'd be like, can't you just send me to Afghanistan for 4 years? I mean, fuck, man.
Yeah,
got a better chance of making that out alive.
I don't want to get raped or dead.
I mean, fucking damn. That's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. I don't think we're ever going to be not hearing from Fort Hood for a while.
No.
I mean, there's been, like we say every week, this should be the last Fort Hood thing. This should be the last Fort Hood thing.
Yet it never is. Can you imagine, the guy that's going to replace that commander? I bet
he's probably going, no.
I bet
I want to retire now.
No, I bet the new base commander is going to have that fucking place squared away quick.
I hope so.
Yeah, and he absolutely ought to. But I bet he is going to have them on a short fucking leash. Because
where is Fort Hood located in Texas?
Colleen.
Is that a big place? It must be a little place.
You've been there.
She don't remember.
Colleen, Texas. That's where your pop lives.
Oh, I didn't know it was there.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, it can't be that bad there outside of base, the crime and stuff.
You think
it all involves the base personnel?
I don't know. Outside of Fort Bragg is a pretty monumental shithole. Fayetteville, North Carolina. That's
but you don't hear about all these people dying there.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Man, I don't know. I wouldn't think so.
Is it a serial killer going after military people? Is it just a whole bunch of non-related things happening just because it's 2020? I mean,
that seems like a lot of coincidences.
It is 2020.
Fucking worst year in the history of everything.
Oh my God. So I'm making these ornaments that are a dumpster fire for 2020, and it's like 2020 on it.
Yeah, I saw these. It said if 2020 was a scented candle, and it was a little dumpster with a fucking candle on it. Or a candle in it, I guess.
And I did one this morning that's a roll of toilet paper. It's a Christmas ornament. And it says 2020. Yikes.
All right, so we have made it all the way.
We got like 20 minutes left. We could talk about...
Yeah, talk about that law.
No, we don't. We have 5 minutes left, but we can still talk about the law.
Oh, I thought we did our episode.
But we don't.
We did too.
No, we don't.
Well,
not on purpose. So California this week passed a law that does not require.
Hold on, we need to pull it up so you can actually read it. Because when I read it, I was like,
we don't want to paraphrase this.
I don't worry about laws from foreign countries.
When I read it, I was like, wait, so does this mean this? He's like, that's how I read it. I was like, okay. That's not good.
And when I read it, I understood what they're trying to do, but they didn't word that shit right. I think they're trying to make like statutory rapes between other, like 18-year-olds and 16-year-olds, but that's not how they worded it.
No, what they did was, all right. What it says is SB 145 eliminates an inequality in sex offender registration. And this is off of USA Today. The claim: California passed a pro-pedophilia legislation to remove the felony status of sex with minors.
Why would you remove the felony status of sex with minors?
Well, not for everybody. It's like there has to be more than 10 years difference in
however
age.
It was worded, they said something about 10 years. I said, with their 10-year window, an 18-year-old can rape an 8-year-old, and it's okay.
No, that's not. I don't know.
But the way it's worded, that's how it sounds.
Yeah, and I get what you were trying to do, but you didn't do that. You did another thing.
No. I mean,
so you need to, as my mammy would say, relick that calf.
So that means a 25-year-old could rape a 15-year-old.
Yeah,
that's not.
Let me see. You may have texted it to me.
How retarded!
You put it in our Coffee and Kinder chat, but didn't it say something about? I don't think a 25-year-old. I think you're wrong there because I think they both had to be 18 or under.
Well, it shouldn't be that fucking ambiguous.
I agree. I'm just saying.
Do you like me to take care? I beg your pardon.
What is that?
That was Ross's TikTok, I'm sure.
TikTok.
All right, so this is just, and I don't trust USA Today, but this is what their rating is.
I found it here.
Well, okay. So this is, I actually sent a screenshot of the legislation.
Yeah.
And it says, and I quote, SB 145 as amended, Wiener. It just says Wiener. Sex offenders registration. Existing law.
Had a tick.
Where was it? Existing law, the Sex Offender Registration Act requires a person convicted of one of certain crimes as specified to register with law enforcement as a sex offender while residing in California or while attending school or working in California as specified. A willful failure to register as required by the Act is a misdemeanor or felony, depending on the underlying offense. The bill would exempt from mandatory registration under the Act a person convicted of a certain offense. This is statutory rape, is the certain offense we're talking about. Certain offenses involving minors if the person is not more than 10 years older than the minor, and if that offense is the only one requiring the person to register.
So that says if they're not more, so if you're 17 and you raped an 8-year-old, then they're saying that's okay.
Yeah, then you don't have to register as a sex offender.
Then you don't have to register as a sex offender because it all happens to be for kids.
But California is still fucked up.
That's not okay.
Yeah, and that's not spin. That's right off of the California
that's off their
docket.
Legislation.
So I don't know what the fuck kind of ragtag operation y'all are running out there, but
I think I understand what they were trying to do.
They failed.
But that's not what they did. They did something completely else.
To be fair, this is the same place that last week said that police should consider whether the looters actually needed the things
my
they
God.
were looting?
Yeah, that was what the state district or one of the district attorneys. Well, listen to me if you are listening, Mr. or
I
Mrs.
don't
District
think they
Attorney.
are.
They're not, but it's not the cop's job to determine motive. It is the cop's job to enforce the law. And